Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. How we doing? All right, 24/7, not looking too bad. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Can you hear me? Check, 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 check. Test, 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 net. Test net. Check, 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 check. Yeah. Audio good, audio good. Check, 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 check. How we doing? Happy Monday, y'all. How we doing? Yeah. Can I get a ka-chia? All right, real quick. Let me adjust these levels real quick, man. Let me adjust these levels real quick. Anything you guys want to talk about, even down to the, let's make sure to front run the SFP. Everything looks Gucci. Obviously, you're going to have a VWAP bearish retest, value area high bearish retest opportunity. So it'll be interesting if the higher low is held. 7 minutes on the 30-minute candle close. So let's get to the RTH here. How we doing, though? Holy shit, I'm almost done with the whole entire can. Maybe Band-Aids has played out perfectly for how we talked Friday. Pixel perfect. Kachaya. Man, I am only filled for 10% of what I wanted. So I have to figure out what I want to do. And then I don't even have a position for S&P. So I got maybe 90 minutes to figure out if I want to do this on S&P. Yeah, so I'll see what the 30-minute candle looks like, and then I'll probably make a decision if I want to take it. So this is looking good. We talked about this. 30-minute was pixel perfect. ETH looks good too. For everything that we talked about. Sure, I mean, VWAP, all the levels. So, yeah, I'm excited for this week. I'm excited for next week. Lots of opportunities. There's a couple here. That are going to start to get real juice in there. Still waiting, huh? Some of these are going to be real interesting if it does give us an opportunity from where we want. All right, let's get nasty on these hoes. For me, like, it's just a continuation off of Friday. But is everybody caught up on Friday? How we talked about we wanted to front run the SFP. You guys remember the conversation we had about how the short that we want to take is going to front run the SFP just like this. Yes. I think it's just a matter of, I'm sure some of you guys took the initial derivative short. Am I right? How many of y'all took this initial one? But how many of y'all knew that one, that's a bad high, and two, when ETH opens back up, it's most likely going to sweep that hoe? So bounced off of point of control. As soon as ETH opened, here we go. The real clean happens, yeah? Okay. Boom. Boom. I don't know where most of you guys entered. Did most of you guys enter here? Did most of you guys enter here? Some of you guys even took the short here. I saw some DMs from you guys when it went back into value area high. So I only got filled a little bit. Actually, like 15, I think 18 out of 100 that I wanted. So I'm debating if I should add at value or VWAP. Obviously, we're at point of control right now. You guys know on the bigger time frame what we're looking for, right? No questions. So this is pretty straightforward. So you guys know all of this that I like. So hidden. Okay. With the bear. So hidden bear div with the regular bear div, and then we're looking for something like this. So for me, it's really just a continuation off of last week. Yep. And then obviously we have levels to the downside, levels to the upside. So levels to the upside is really, really clear. It's the 107.7 swing fail. And then you've got the single print and the settlement, right? To the downside, you've got the 100, you've got the 99 and the 98, you've got the Fibonacci and the gap. But most importantly, further down, you've got like the 90K. So 100 to 99, one area where we might look for a long, but we got that 90 to 88 as well. So none of those levels, they haven't really changed. Godhound is asking why it didn't clean on RTH though. Well, that's exactly what we said. We want to leave the RTH uncleaned. Remember, Godhound? We specifically said we don't want the RTH cleaned. Azaz might have a clip for you. But if we leave the RTH like that, then it's confluence for the long, brother. Right there. So keep all of that. Okay. It gives us confluence for the long. So we want that uncleaned. So that's pixel perfect. Raul says, this uptrend hasn't had a major retrace yet. Wonder if this is the one. You don't have to wonder. Just be prepared, Raul. Yes, sir. Obviously, it's still making a higher high and higher lows. So you could make an argument that it's not going to be a big retrace. Kind of depends on ES. That's why I'm just looking at ES. I want to see if it wants to actually go higher than the overnight high. Skiller says, will we hit those single prints? Probably starting to look a little bit bullish if we get there. So I would be looking for a Fibonacci rotation if we get up there. So like this. So if we actually do this, you're talking about that single print, I'm assuming. I would be really interested if it's gonna try to do that. Okay. But first things first, you know me, I'm a pretty big stickler for VWAP. So is it gonna get above it? Is it gonna be rejected? Stay tuned and find out. Let's get nasty on them, man. King says, we rejected off of VWAP and we left bad low below us. No logic behind a scalp short. What do you mean, King? Yeah, I got filled for a little bit. Have you been here since the very beginning? I believe my first words that I uttered were, there might be an opportunity to short. So yeah, I got filled for a little bit. If that's what you're asking, King. Yeah, let me know. But remember, King, everybody's going to have a different bias. We just had a couple of lions talking about, I have a long from 102-200. That's cool too. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Whether you're in a short or a long, I mean, probably except for my position right now because I have more levels to the upside. Longers can't lose, shorters can't lose. So what I'm really trying to look at right now, King, don't worry. I wouldn't really worry too much about this. What I would be watching is this. RTH gap is just filled right now. So you see it, RTH gap got filled. So even on like ES, you would really want to make sure that you fill the gap and then come right back. So point of control, VWAP, it's all right there. Ideally on ES, we come back down below point of control now. So if ES helps us out and we can start to break VWAP and get below point of control, then Bitcoin will take care of itself. So it's low volume. I don't know if you heard that earlier. So, okie dokie. Any questions? Zero Sum says, do you care about MSTR option flow? Not really. I only really mainly play spot. Yeah, I don't. Have you been able to follow along? Like, do you remember the NVIDIA $2 million spot long? Yeah, I am. I don't really care too much about option flow because if I'm doing spot buys, then clearly I'm committed for like at least 14 months is the way that I look at it. Yeah, maybe at least 6 months until end of Q1, right? Where I might start to sell off risk on assets. Yeah, so not really zero sum. I mean, I've already been bullish for 2025 since last year, so option flow really isn't going to change my mind. Only if I was going to like scalp. All right, any last minute questions? We got about 5 minutes and change. V2 holding steady, not too bad. We'll test out what the transition feels like. Shout out Houston, shout out Cage. PSG, stand up. You guys excited for PSG? Are you excited for PSG stream? Let's go. 24/7, let's go. No Mercy, thank you for the resub. Any questions? Ricky Bazuki says, yesterday I was checking out my local crypto guru streams, and with all the knowledge I gained from you in the last 4 months, I felt like a fucking Einstein in comparison. Let's go, Ricky Bazuki. The math is the math and the juice is juice. You excited for tomorrow? The main prize I think to be locking in on is Thursday GDP and then Friday GDP. I don't know if you guys saw, but we're going to be doing a streamathon the week of FOMC. It gives me enough time. I'm going to install the auto tune, I think today or tomorrow. So we're going to try some musica. Man, it would have been nice to just go a little bit deeper, huh? What is okay? Okay, that one is probably too late. What about this one? Okay. Okay, all right. U.S. market close, yes? Clap, 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 clap. Kachoya. Wandu says, why is the data from KingFisher in the bookmap stream different than in the old KingFisher high block stream? So that's the difference between leverage. So what I want you to do, Wandu, if I were to ask you, what's the difference between high block and KingFisher? Would you be able to tell me? If I asked you, how does KingFisher go about figuring out or guessing where the liquidity levels are? Would you be able to tell me? Have you at least looked through the KingFisher documentation and the high block documentation to know how they go about figuring it out? Do you understand that KingFisher pivots off of leverage and high block pivots off of time? Okay, so what you're seeing on, I believe, the HD book map is optical. And what you're seeing on the other one is all leverage. Optical leverage is the leverage that has the highest probability to get liquidated. So it's usually, I think, 16 to 33, if I'm not mistaken. All right. And then the all leverage is taking account into everything. So the fact that you don't have KingFisher means that you can't pivot versus high leverage, optical leverage, medium leverage. Did you know that if you had KingFisher, you can go in and take a look at all of that? Obviously, the high leverage stuff is the stuff that gets hit the most, right? Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Exclamation KingFisher if you want a nice little discount. All right, does that help? Any other questions? So long story short, you're seeing the difference in leverage. All right, so one is all leverage and one is optical leverage. Optical means that it has the highest probability to get spanked. All right, so I think it's good to have both because you can see the optical and then you can also see the all leverage. Gucci? Any other questions before we get going? You guys Gucci Magucci? I love you guys, man. Happy Monday. It's good to regroup after it felt like a 3-day weekend. I don't know about you guys, but stay safe, Lions. I love you guys. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, Bears, we're all Lions. I'll be here throughout the night, all right? Let's do this transition. Here we go. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Here we go. Kachoya Houston, hit him with the D.